Hello friends, welcome back to the discussion, and we will be discussing today about quantum numbers, a most important topic of JEE mains. And also the length of our videos will be reduced to nearly 10 to 12 minutes. In that, in every 20 to 12 minutes we will be covering a topic or either a subtopic, but I promise to never compromise on the concept. So now let us start with the topic quantum numbers. Yes, what do you actually mean by quantum numbers? Quantum numbers is a tool to determine the structure of an atom. How could you just determine the structure of an atom? Yes, we can determine the structure of an atom by using four quantum values. Quantum numbers are of four types, or quantum numbers are four in number. That is, first, principal quantum number. What? Principal quantum number denoted by letter small n. Secondly, azimuthal quantum number. What? Azimuthal quantum number denoted by small l. It is also known as orbital angular momentum quantum number. Yes, it is also known as orbital angular momentum quantum number. And the third one is magnetic quantum number. It is denoted by letter small l. Fourth one is spin quantum number, denoted by letter S or MS. Okay. So how do we get these four quantum values? We get these four quantum values as solutions for a very wonderful equation called Schrodinger wave equation. Schrodinger wave equation, that equation after we solve, we get all these four values, that is N, L, M and S. These four values determine the structure of an atom. Now let us go deep and discuss each of the quantum number. We will be starting up with principal quantum number. What? Principal quantum number. Yes. So what? How did principal quantum number come into existence? Yes, it was proposed by a very well-known scientist, Niels Bohr, in the year 1913. Yes, it was proposed by a very well-known scientist, Niels Bohr, in the year 1913. It is denoted by small letter n, not capital N. Capital N represents number of the shell. Small n represents the quantum value. It basically gives, what does it give? Means, how can we interpret the value of n? N value can be interpreted as, it gives the orbit number to which electron belongs. What? It gives the orbit number to which electron belongs. This is nothing but the n which we used for NLX notation. Do you remember? Yes. This is the same n which we used in NLX notation, and that n is nothing but principal quantum number. Principal quantum number gives what? Gives the orbit number to which electron belongs. This was given by Niels Bohr. But later on, when quantum theory of atom was given up, then in that we got to know that it also gives the size and energy of the orbit. What? Yes, it also gives the size and energy of the orbit to which electron belongs. Size, yes. Orbit, In accordance to Bohr, orbits are closed circular paths in which electrons revolve, right? Yes. Then these closed circular paths in which electron revolves, this must have a radius, right? Because being a circle, it will cover a distance of r from the center. For that r, or we discussed that atom is of several shells, right? Then the radius from the nucleus to every shell will differ, right? Yes. So we'll have a general formula for radius, that is Rn equals 0.529 n square by z angstroms, right? Yes. What is n square? N is number of the orbit to which electron belongs. And what is z? Z, yes, we have read that. Z is nothing but the atomic number of the element. Atomic number, yes, number of protons or electrons present in an atom is called atomic number. So, radius of an atom, that is radius of an orbit, depends upon n square by z. That means radius Rn is inversely proportional to atomic number, right? Yes. And radius is directly proportional to n square. Okay. Now we'll go with the equation of Niels Bohr for, that is, radius is generalized by. Then how could we this value? How did we get this value? And what is angstrom? Angstrom means 10 power minus 8 centimeters. So being this and these both these values are constants, right? Then what was the original value of r when derived? We get this value. Okay. So go a bit more faster and we'll conclude this topic soon. Come on. This is Rn was derived from the Rn, which we told as 0.529 n square by z angstroms. So these are the two constant values and these are the variable figures, right? Yes. So the original equation from which the Rn was derived is this is the complete equation where h is Planck's constant. We'll discuss in detail about Planck's constant while discussing with regard Bohr's theory. Okay. Now just try and remember this, and this formula will be again clearly derived when we talk about Bohr's theory. N also gives another quantity, that is energy of the orbit. Energy of the orbit, right? So what is that? It is minus 313.6 z square by n square kilocalories per mole, and also minus 13.6 z square by n square electron volt per atom. Okay, So energy is given by this formula in kilocalorie per mole and electron volts per atom. And now we will see the original formula from which energy is derived. So this is the prime formula from which N is derived. From which N is derived. N or E. This is the prime formula from which energy for nth shell is derived, which we generally state as 313.6 Z square by N square kilocalorie per mole, and or minus 13.6 Z square by N square electron volt per atom. Done. So these are the interpretations from principal quantum number. Now, why do we get a negative sign while dealing with energy? Yes, we get a negative sign while dealing with energy because negative sign symbolizes release of energy. While atom being stabilized, energy is to be released. In the previous classes, we discussed the relation between stability and energy. Yes, to be more stable, it must be less energetic. Okay, that is the reason why we have minus, because the system will lose its energy and give away its energy to the surroundings. This concept, I think it will be discussed in thermodynamics. Okay, thank you. We'll end up the session here.